Hey, Facebook and real estate investor friends, you are tuning into What the Flip Live, sponsored by REI Design Solutions. And I am Christine Hartsill. I'm the host of What the Flip Live, and I am also the owner and principal designer of REI Design Solutions. And for those of you who are joining us today, thank you and welcome. And for those of you who are listening to this on the replay, welcome. And hopefully you will glean lots of value from this episode of What the Flip Live. So this is kind of a funny one, and I'm being I'm being cheered on by my assistant saying, give it all you got. We had kind of an agenda for this last week, and today there's been a lot going on. There's a lot on my mind. There's a lot that I'm working on for local and current clients that have just kind of made me change direction on this. So bear with me as always. So let's do a quick sound check. How are we sounding on everything? Eva, are you there? I am going live on all three of my Facebook pages here. So I just want to make sure that you can all hear me, because I'm actually doing this live from my house because our internet at the office is kind of wonky right now. And so I just didn't trust it with this. So in the background, this is our home office. And in the background, you can see live is everywhere. Yay. Okay, cool beans. In the background, you can see those pictures hanging on the wall. I just recently did that. They've been bugging my husband because the frames have been laying around and they keep getting moved around from room to room. And so he finally said, what are you going to do with these frames? And so I said, fine, I'll do it. Well, I'd been meaning to kind of create a vision board in our office. As many of you who are entrepreneurs, and even those of you who are not, you should know about the vision board. It's a really cool concept where you just take and all the things that you've ever dreamed about doing in your life, whether it's traveling, whether it's starting your own business, whether it's getting fit and all that. You should always take a little bit of time every year to just kind of sit down and try and visualize what that would look like. Because oftentimes, I used to be called a dreamer when I was a kid, and because I loved to just kind of sit there and daydream and didn't want to do my work. And but I think that has actually served me well as I've gotten, into adulthood, and I've grown in my career and vocation. And so anyway, that behind me that you can see is our vision board. And so I've just put, some of the things that we as a family want to do over the course of the next few years, and how what I'm doing now, what my husband is doing now in our vocations are building to be able to eventually do some of those things someday. So I love being a dreamer. I'm still a dreamer. Sometimes I sit and daydream and don't get anything done. But anyway, enough about me. I want to talk about you guys. So those of you who are real estate investors, buy, fix, and flip real estate investors, you are who I'm talking to on all of my What the Flip lives, because that you are who I have chose to serve with my interior design expertise. Again, just a little bit of background, 20 years of experience, started out in furniture, always wanted to be an interior designer. I used to dream about being an interior designer, having my own interior design firm and employees and all that. And we're getting there. But started out, selling furniture, just everything I could get my hands on to learn how to be a better designer. And so I went into kitchen design, working for a small kitchen shop in my hometown of Great Falls, Montana. And then I eventually moved to Portland, Oregon. And in Portland, Oregon, I did more kitchen design, and then I ended up being a remodeling contractor for several years until I met my beloved husband, who moved me out here to Houston, Texas, and I've been out here for about 10 years. And over the last several years, getting into real estate investing, learning all I could, just diving in, and realizing that the whole real estate investing business model in terms of buy, fix, and flip was just not for me. I really love the design. I really love the construction aspect of it. So my goal is to come on here and serve you and give you as much of my knowledge as possible in that space. And so, so I am talking to you today, and we are going to be talking about design. Many of you know that last week we discussed all the other factors that affect the fast sale of a flip property. Say that fast 7 times. Anyway, so all the other factors that go into flipping your property and how it affects how quickly that property is going to sell, how it's going to be received by the market, what potential buyers are going to see in that property. Are they going to walk in and say, oh my gosh, we have to put an offer on it now? So that's our goal. I mean, isn't that what you want as a buy, fix, and flip real estate investor? You want that property to sell as fast as possible for the highest prices possible. So that is my goal, is to help you figure that out. Again, I do not even pretend to begin to know anything about buying properties or helping you on the buy side with the marketing and all that good stuff. There's awesome mentors out there who can help on that area. But for me, I really want to help you guys get to the closing table on the resale side. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, because last week we talked about several factors that affect the fast sale of a flip property. And some of those were, so for example, the ARV that property is in. What neighborhood are you in with regards to the ARV? Are you below median home value? Are you above median home value? Are you way above median home value, like in higher end homes? Is that where you're flipping? Is that where your focus is? What is the listing price? When you finally sit down to list that property after you've rehabbed it, what are you listing it too high? Are you listing it way above market value? Are you listing it right below? You know, where are you at with the listing? And sometimes you do have to play around with that a little bit to kind of see where things fell once your rehab was done and you were ready to put it back on the market. And then of course, the third major factor that I talked about was design. And I didn't talk about it as much because if the property is designed right, that can overcome a lot of those other factors. But if all of those factors, including design and including some of the other, I think I called them sub factors, you know, such as the neighborhood that it's in, whether it's on a busy street, whether it has a railroad right behind it, which I wouldn't mind, but some people might. I love trains. But at any rate, if all of those factors are in alignment, and especially with regards to the design, then your house is going to sell fast. And of course, we talked about economic factors and the real estate market at the time you put it on the market, the year, the time of the year, and so on and so forth. All of those factors affect the fast sale of flip property. So today, I really want to hone in on design. And part of the reason why, because we were going to talk about like working with working with real estate investors versus working with homeowners. That's something we will probably talk about in the near future. But I really wanted to hone in on the design part of it because like I said last week, I do have some folks that I am helping try and figure out why their property isn't selling. Did they have me help them with my design services during the rehab or before? No. So now they're coming to me and they're saying, okay, what did we do wrong? What can we do differently? How can we get this property sold fast, quickly, at least now that it's been sitting there for a while? How can we kind of change things up so that it will sell and we're not going to lose a ton of money on it? So anyway, I've encountered several of those cases over the course of the last few weeks. Now, granted, it is a difficult time of the year to be selling a property. And so they understand that, and they understand that, you know, not everybody's running around looking for houses like they are, you know, towards the end of the spring and early summer. And so with that said, I want to just share a little story of one investor. His name is Otto. O-T-T. Oh, yes. Sorry. The name has been changed to protect the innocent, of course. But Otto, and I'm looking on my notes here real quick, he's a fairly new investor. He's flipped 2 or 3 properties, and he is he's being mentored by a coaching program. And Otto, has done really well. He's following, and to give credit to a lot of these there's a lot of really slimy real estate investing coaching programs out there, depending on the neighborhood that you're investing in or what city you're investing in. Do your due diligence and searching out really good, reputable companies who are actually doing flipping themselves and who know the market and so on and so forth. But this particular coach mentor for this for Otto, they are a reputable coaching program. And so Otto is following their advice. He's doing what he needs to do to really get out there. He's got a great mindset. He's really showing some hustle and a lot of potential. And obviously he's in the flipping space. So Otto's done a couple of flips, and one of them sold really quickly. And so we're in a situation now where he's come to me and he said, look, something's wrong. Something went wrong. Like the last flip we did in this neighborhood went great. And it sold really quickly. And now this one's just kind of sitting here and sitting here and sitting here. And so, it's kind of hard for me because I'm in even though Houston's a huge city, the real estate investing community here in Houston is very tight knit, and everybody knows everybody else, and you can get a bad reputation really fast. And so, and I respect a lot of the people in this industry that I work side by side with and work across the aisle from, and what have you. And so I have to be really careful that I don't lead my clients astray, but at the same time, there is. I feel that there's a necessity to tell them how they may have been led astray by these trusted folks. And I see that a lot in real estate investing circles, in mentoring circles, where the notion of interior design and the importance of interior design in real estate investing is totally left out of the equation. And I'm kind of fighting an uphill battle when it comes to real estate investing and the role I play in interior design in real estate investing and getting the message out that it's really, really important. So I'm coming at you, like I said, with kind of an uphill battle, but that's okay. I'm up for the challenge, and so that's really where I have to just really be discerning and to do the right thing for my clients, but also to recognize where these other people these other folks that they're trusting with their advice and their mentoring and their leadership, where I give them credit where credit is due. So with that said, I have to have kind of a difficult discussion with Otto. And part of the reason is because a couple things. This particular property is in an ARV where he really had no business using the contractor that he used. And I say that because this particular contractor is very similar to the mentors that they are using, in that they also kind of discount interior design as an effective way of getting these flips back on the retail market and selling them quickly. And so they're very limited in what they will do for a real estate investor client. And so Otto was kind of left without very many artistic or design choices, and that I think really pigeonholed him into this position where he didn't put the type of finishes and the design into this particular property. And given the ARV, I think that's against him. That is going to be, and it is probably what is causing this property to sit on the market. So then the other issue is that he's run into a situation where his agent is already asking him to drop this price significantly on the property, and the ARV or the comps don't necessarily warrant that he should have to. And we're talking a significant chunk of money to where it could potentially eat into all of his profits. And so he's got all these people and all these scenarios that he's run into, and it's kind of caused this perfect storm of an imperfect flip, basically, that may cause him to lose money, and most certainly have to make these decisions as to what he does now to get this property sold. Does he drop the price? Does he take a hit? Does he turn around and make some changes to that property that will really make it stand out against all? Because there is competition on that neighborhood, things that properties that are on the market that are being sold. How does he make his property stand apart from those particular properties that are basically the competition of his? So those are the things that he's running into. And I hate to see investors in this difficult decision. Now, I look at it from the standpoint of what can we do to spend minimal amount of money to still be able to keep it at that listing price, which it should be able to sell for, because we've looked at the comparables and I think the listing price is right in there. Maybe drop it, maybe 5,000, 10,000, but certainly not this drastic amount that this agent is requesting. And I see ways that this investor could go in and make some minor changes that might cost him $4,000 or $5,000, but certainly not $50,000. That would really make that property stand out, show better in not only online, but when the potential buyer goes to that property to take a look at it. So what are the things that he could do? And so one of the things that I decided that I really, really want to do for real estate investors to better understand how interior design affects the fast sale of a flip property is I want to do a webinar. And I come on and I do these Facebook Lives, but I think what's going to be different about the webinar is that it's going to be a real focused time where I'm going to actually lay out 10 principles of interior design for your flip properties. I'm going to really dive deep into those principles. So those are the kind of things that you may not have to hire an interior designer if you follow these principles. And so for buy, fix, and flip investors who are meddling a little bit in higher ARV properties, this is for you. So that you can look at your flip property through the lens of these principles and be able to say, you know what, I've got this, check. I got this, check. This is happening. Okay. And also, if you feel like you just need a little bit of extra insight, certainly, get in touch with REI Design Solutions or your local interior designer who knows a little bit about flipping properties, and reach out to them. But at least these principles will help you know what to look for and how to approach design when it comes to your flip properties. Because I'm here to tell you, it's huge. I've talked last week about what we refer to as the ideal buyer avatar. It's kind of a spin off the ideal client avatar, which you're taught if you are in a small business or big business for that matter. You're taught to really talk to that ideal client in your marketing and in your content. And so I want you guys to be able to do that same thing with your properties. I want you to have in your mind what your ideal buyer avatar is. And I want you to be able to speak to them with how you rehab this property. It's, if you're in the median home value and lower, like I said last week, for the most part, those properties do sell themselves. But if you start dipping into properties that are 50, 100, 150, and on up from the median home value, then you're going to definitely want to be way more conscientious about how you're doing your rehabs. And it's not just, you can't do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. And so anyway, this webinar, and I'm going to go ahead real quickly here, and I'm going to pop it into the Here we go. January, this month, the 25th, the end of the month. So go click on this link and that will take you into a sign up page. You sign up for the webinar. You'll get an email that tells you how to log in. I use Zoom. So it'll tell you how to log in. Oh no. Well, it says I'm live. So what's going on? Back on. Okay, we're having technical difficulties for some reason. Oh my goodness. Okay. So anyway, I was talking to you guys about the webinar. So did y'all catch that? Anyway, I went ahead and posted in the comments a webinar that I'm going to be doing for you guys on January 25th. Friday, it's a Friday at 2 p.m. So like right before you knock off, get online with me. Let's go through these 10 principles of interior design for your flips so that you can better rehab your flip properties so they'll sell faster. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us, reidesignsolutions.com. You can actually sign in and request a 30-minute free consultation on the phone or online consultation. And again, tune in to this webinar because I'm really gonna give you guys lots of value, lots of things that you can apply to your future flips. And don't be afraid to flip in the above median home value space, because those are great profit making properties and they sell, especially if you know what you're doing and you do the right thing. So anyway, I'm going to close with that. I'm so thankful that you joined me. I hope that this has been helpful to you guys. And by the way, stay tuned for Otto's the outcome of Otto's property that we're going to try and get this turned around so that he can sell it and actually still make a profit off of it and not have to drop the price. So I'll be sharing more about Otto probably in the next few days in a blog post and also in email. So if you aren't on our email list, by all means, sign up to receive our emails and let us know if you need any other help. And with that, to your success. Thanks.